Liberia's peace and democracy have been restored, credited with a democratic transition on 22 January 2018, but the education sector remains the weakest. Public schools in urban, suburban, and rural communities lack basic learning resources for the Liberian children to acquire the adequate education needed to progressively sail the country into its future. Meet Mr. Nathaniel Hodges, the Vice Principal of the Soweltha Memorial Public School in Big Joe Town, Hallandsville Township in Grand Bassa County. Mr. Hodges teaches the pre-primary classes as a self-contained teacher. You can see the stress he goes through to teach each class. The principal of the school could not overemphasize the difficulties.
It's very tedious for only 3 persons, the principal, the vice principal, and the registrar. So that means that we don't have teacher because we are all office staff. So our greatest challenge is the teacher, the teaching staff. We don't have teaching staff. We have made so many appeals to the past administration of the ministry down here, but to no avail.
Yes. Mathematics. Let me take away 2. You get 18 pencils. Your mom wrote out and she bought 18 pencils. Pay attention to that too. Your mother bought 18 pencils. And she said, you're going to be a small sister, 200 pencils. Then how many pencils in your hand?
One of the most important factors in raising student achievement is a highly qualified teacher. Research shows that teacher subject matter knowledge is greatly associated with subject learning in this era of high standards and high expectations. Having a highly qualified teacher has never been more important. Low student to teacher ratio allows the teacher to better manage the class. When a teacher has fewer students to observe, then smaller things can be quickly picked up on and, if needed, acted upon. Low student to teacher ratio is really important so that a teacher can be more effective in his or her position. Deep into Bapulu is the Medfasu Public School with similar problem, but it is better thanks to the availability of volunteer teachers, but the problem is still enormous.
Many of our schools have a lot of challenges when it comes to being on staff, and the honor staff of many of our institutions came about during the deletion when our system went through the biometric process, and some of our teachers were captured to have been unqualified. Some did not have the requisite credentials according to CSA/Ministry of Education. That has really affected our school system.
We have car. 5% of the student parents have a car. 5% of the students. Then we have 2005. We put our zero. The one here. When it comes to the staff of the school, it's honor staff. We have only 2 teachers that are on government salary, and we have 9 classrooms on this building. 3 separate. In that, the constraint that we're undergoing, even from 1st grade to 4th grade, the teaching instructional materials to get it very, very difficult. Okay, let's continue. Before we open, after we did the registration, we look at the number of students that are here, and we have 9 classrooms. And for quality education to take place, we need qualified teachers to teach the various classes. So what we did, we submit the enrollment to the DO, informing him that the school is under staff. We need 9 teachers, additional teachers, because we have 9 classrooms, but to no avail. But they are trying to work with. Because the information that we got was that most of our brothers that were teaching or fathers that were teaching, their name have been deleted from the system. And because of the low salary, some of our brothers are not encouraged to come on the teaching field. Some of our brothers went to care teacher, they graduated, they came back, they're not willing to come in the classroom because of the low salary.
Liberia's youthful population has high expectations for quality and affordable education. It is reported that nearly 70% of the population in Liberia lives on less than $1.90 a day, 20 percentage points higher than other developing countries in sub-Saharan Africa. According to the 2016 Liberia Education Sector Analysis released by the Ministry of Education in Liberia, 47.3% of Liberia's population has no education, which is above the regional average of 34%. The Ministry of Education has acknowledged that limited availability of textbooks means that many teachers are used to teaching either without or with very few textbooks and learning materials. Even the basic materials such as chalks, lesson plan books, and other learning tools do not reach teachers in time for them to use to teach the pupils.
Last year was supply, but this academic year, since we started the teaching, we have not received any material. As we speak for now, we don't even have a plain sheet. The only thing we have here, because we manage the chalk. We don't have no plain sheet. Sometimes, for example, some of the teacher read after finishing the test, they grade, they record it on cardboard sheet. I can give you some example here. See here. These are the grades that we have. This is 6th grade. See. See.
No stationery, no textbooks. One of the essential, most significant, to the administration, textbooks.
Significant progress has been made to erect schools in places. The situation with school infrastructure has improved massively over the past decade. Currently, there are close to 3,000 government schools in Liberia, but some of these infrastructure lack basic facilities such as adequate latrines for both genders of students and teachers as well. Education partners have been helping to remedy the situation, but a need for government to conclusively solve the problem is needed. Even classrooms per grade are still a nightmare. In the Sowelta Memorial Public School in Big Joe Town, this is glaring. International declarations recognize that states should spend at least 6% of their GDP and or at least 20% of their national budgets on education in order to achieve quality education for all.
Let us understand that we are down when it comes to education. The mess that we are in, we almost help to push it up to the best. So this cannot absolutely be done by one sector, but it must be done by all sectors, meaning the executive, the judiciary, the legislature. It must be collective. We must draw everybody to this one umbrella, under this one umbrella, so that we can support education in Liberia.
The new government has projected $5 million for education in the 2018-2019 budget. This, they indicated, will be predominantly used for the construction of laboratories, libraries, and armchairs for public instructional schools. The need for increasing the funding for education is gravely needed so as to alleviate some of the challenges immediately. The Liberian government needs to increase the number of qualified teachers and school support staffers to enable the preparation of the nation's future generation. Government also needs to look towards revolutionizing the distribution of learning materials and furniture. The hope is high, and Liberians expect the Propo government to provide education to Liberian students to enable them to be on par with other students internationally.
We will improve our educational system, wherever it's coming from, whether it's coming from west to better, from west to better, from being dilapidated to better. What we want to do is to make sure that students have the basic structure to educate themselves so they can be leaders for tomorrow.